Hello everyone and welcome back to Double Sleeved. Today we're starting our first deck idea for the starter decks that came out with Dawn of the Z Legend. We've gone through the entire main set of Dawn of the Z Legend over each leader. We've come up with a deck for each one, and now we've moved into the starter decks. Now the starter decks do come complete so that you can play out of the box, but there are obviously some cards in the past that work really well with these leaders that weren't included, that if you do have access to, can make that deck a little bit better. Gotenks is a deck that I've played a lot of in the past, so I was excited to see that it got a reboot in the form of a starter deck, but let's jump in and see how these cards work. Starting off with the leader, we've got an auto. When this card attacks, draw 1. Auto, if you have 2 or more energy, when you activate a union skill, you may flip this card to its back. If you do, draw 1 card, switch 1 of your energy to active mode, and then add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 life left. And then the standard awaken when your life is at 4 or less, draw 1, switch 1 of your energy to active mode. So a bit different to the previous leader where you awakened by having the unison with a specified cost of 2. That was back in a time when they were kind of trying to push for unisons and things like that, and this deck was kind of the first one to kind of have some unison interaction by being able to remove markers and things like that. But we're able to awaken now by activating the union effect, which is quite easy in this deck with some of the union cards that we have. On our awaken side, 15k, auto once per turn. When you activate a union skill, play 1 ghost token with 15,000 power in rest mode. When this card attacks, draw 1, and then activate battle once per turn. Remove 1 of your ghost tokens from the game. Use up to 1 mono green card with 5,000 combo power from your drop in a combo with its skills negated for the battle. There is a lot of board clear and spot removal and things like that at the moment, so it is going to be difficult to keep those ghost tokens on the field, but the longer they stay around, the more 15k attackers that you do have. But we can always just remove them immediately as well. We can union, get the ghost token out, and then remove it to get that combo. Goku, a old anniversary box card. 1 specified green, 1 energy. When this card is played, add up to 1 green card with an energy cost of 6 or less and a union fusion skill from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then we've got an activate main for 1 green energy. Place this card in its owner's drop area, then choose 1 card in your hand with a union fusion skill and reveal it. For each character name required for the revealed card's union, add up to 1 card with a matching character name with an energy cost between 3 and 7 from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. A great way to get the pieces for the union effect as well, so pretty standard to play this on turn 1, search out the 6-drop or the 3-drop Gotenks that we need, and then on turn 2, reveal that Gotenks, send this card to the drop, and then grab the Goten and the Trunks. The old unison, still incredible as well. SS3 Vegito, Peerless Warrior, 2 specified green, 15k. Once per turn, when you activate a union skill, draw 1 card. +2, activate main, choose all of your mono green battle cards that gain revenge until the start of your next turn. And then the -7, if your leader's mono green, look at your opponent's life, place 1 card among them in the drop area. Your opponent shuffles their life, chooses 3 cards in their hand, and discards them. Being that +2 unison, it's extremely difficult to kind of get rid of it, but it's starting to get a little bit more easier now with some of the other decks that can interact with unisons, but back in the day this was so difficult to remove, but still a great unison. Sun Goten and Trunks, Faultless Youth, another anniversary box card. It's a 3-drop, 15k. Activate main for 1 green. If your leader is a green Gotenks and you place 1 card from your life in your drop area, play this card from your hand. And then activate main if your leader is a green Gotenks and you can return this card to its owner's hand. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to a green Gotenks or 1 green unison card with a specified cost of 2. So another great way to search out for the unison if we miss it, or the green Gotenks. We can play this card off its activate main and off the Trunks as well. A new card that we got in this set was Goten and Trunks Unfurled Potential, another 3-drop, 15k. Auto limit 1. If your leader is green and has Gotenks in its character name, when this card is placed in your drop from your hand by a union fusion, you may choose your leader and it gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. When this card is placed in a drop from your Z energy, remove it from the game. And then an activate battle, limit 1. If your leader is a green Gotenks, if your leader is green card with Gotenks in its character name, and one of your green cards with Gotenks in its character name is in battle, use this card in a combo from your drop. At the end of the battle, send this card from your drop to your war. It's great getting that effect when this card is used for the Union Fusion, similar to the Trunks for those that don't know. When you discard this card from your hand by a Union skill, you get to look at the top 7 and add a green Unison with a specified cost of 2. So it's great to be able to ditch these cards for the Unison and get multiple effects, giving our leader that plus 5k, which does come in handy when we have the Z leader on effect. But even better than that, it can act as the Goten and the Trunks as well. You do still need 2 cards to fulfill the Union Fusion, but these 2 cards can fill in for either one depending on which one you need. And then 1 copy of Sun Goten brimming with talent. For the activate main for 1 green energy, if your leader is a green Gotenks and this card from your drop to your hand. It's always great to be able to combo this card or pitch it for dormant and things like that, and then pick it up if we have that energy available. It just feels really free and keeps our hand quite large. Moving into the Gotenks and the Union Fusion kind of package, we've got the 3-drop Gotenks Fusion Confusion. It's a 10-drop with Deflect and Barrier. Union Fusion limit 1, so no energy required for this one, just the green Goten and green Trunks Youth. Activate main if your leader is green and has Gotenks in its character name, and you place this card in the owner's drop. Add up to 1 Goten and Trunks Youth card, both green, from your drop to your hand. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, 3 or less, and KO it. A great way to get our leader onto their awakened side, since we can Union Fusion for free, which will trigger our leader's awaken, our leader's flip, I should say, because it isn't the awaken, but we then get that 10k attack, and then can pick up the Goten and the Trunks once we're done with this card. 6-drop SS Gotenks Friendship Fusion. It's a unique, critical Union Fusion for 1 green energy with a green Sun Goten and green Trunks Youth. Permanent, if this card would be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. Another great use for that Goten, if we still have it in hand, we can discard the Goten and pick it up later and keep our Gotenks on the field. The best boss monster for the deck back in the day was Gotenks, the Grim Reaper of Justice. It's a deflect, dual attack, Union Fusion for 2 generic energy, the Goten and Trunks Youth. If your leader is a green Gotenks, when this card is played, draw 2 cards, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And when this card is removed by opponent's skill or KO'd, we get to pick up the Goten and the Trunks Youth from our drop area to our hand. When you have the Vegito out, we get to draw 3 cards, so replace all the cards that we just discarded to get this onto the field, or that we lost from hand. We get to remove something, and we have a 25k dual attack. And once this card does get removed, we're able to pick up the Goten and the Trunks from the drop area to pretty much +2 right there. Incredible card. Yeah, I used to love playing this, or dropping 2 and just being able to swing with 4 25k attacks. Just a really good card. The new boss monster for the deck, we've got SS3 Gotenks Ultimate Rookie. This one is an 8 cost, 4 specified green, 30k deflect dual attack. We've got the Union Fusion for 4 green energy. If you have 4 or more energy and draw 2 cards, the green Sun Goten and green Trunks. Again, if you've got the Vegito out, we're going to be able to draw 3 cards. Permanent, if your leader is a Z leader, or you have a Z battle card in play, reduce the skill cost of this card's Union skill in your hand by 1 green, so we're able to play it for 3 green energy. If your leader is green and has Gotenks in its character name, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, KO it, play 2 ghost tokens with 15,000 power, and your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. It's a lot for 4 energy, but when we're able to play this for 3 energy, we're getting some incredibly good effects. A 30k dual attack, we're getting through barrier, playing in 2 15k attackers, and our opponent discards a card. Definitely worth it for playing 3, but can be a bit dangerous tapping out of 4 energy to play this card if we're not going to be able to win the game right then and there. SS3 Gogeta Carefree Combatant. We don't want to miss on the Unison. It's always good to have around when we're getting such great effects for activating Union. We've got Empower, green 5, auto once per turn. When you activate a Union skill, add a marker to this card. +1 activate main, place one card from your hand at the bottom of the deck, then reveal one card with Union Fusion in your hand, add up to one battle card with each, one battle card each from your deck and or drop to your hand, each with a character name that matches the Union skill conditions of the revealed card and an energy cost of 3, between 3 and 7, then shuffle the deck if you look through it. And a -6 activate main, your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand. Really good with the Empower 5 as well. Like I said, the Vegeta is going to accumulate so many markers, but the +1's a good alternative to the Goku as well. We're able to get the pieces that we need for that Union Fusion if we don't have them in hand. So either one is a great option to play on that turn too, but I do prefer the Vegeta. Frieza, Charismatic Villain, staple green card, counterplay, KO 7 or less, which we can do for free if we have a Unison with 2 or more markers. Rubrian, another great card that operates from the drop area. Activate main, 2 green energy, our opponent discards 2, and we send this card to the warp. Our super combo, Paragus, great card, 4 or less life, draw 2, choose 1 card in a hand, send it to the warp. Dormant Potential Unleashed, great counter attack for green. We get to choose any number of our opponent's battle cards, add up to a total cost of 2, KO them. Additionally, choose 1 green card in our hand, discard it, our opponent can only attack 1 more time for the turn. Works really well with the Goten and the Rubrian to discard those cards. If we have the green Unison in play, we can activate the card's counter without paying its energy cost. Homicidal Clones, 2 energy, negate the attack, play a token, and it gains blocker for the turn. If our life is 5 or less, we can activate the card's counter by taking a card from our life to our hand instead. Dodoria, our counterplay to deal with some of the floodgates that are running around. If we have a green Unison in play, for 1 energy, we get to counterplay. The battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less. It's placed in the drop area instead of being played, and then play the Dodoria. Now we've got Dark Temptation Toa, which is our only overrealm. We do operate a lot from the drop area. We're able to pick up the cards from the drop area quite easily, so we don't want to have too much overrealm and send all of our cards to the warp. When you play this card using overrealm, if your leader is green or yellow, choose one of your leader cards and it gains plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in the drop area. We're able to keep our hand size pretty healthy, so it's great to be able to start dwindling our opponents, especially when we're swinging 25k dual attack and things like that. Giving our leader the buff is good as well, just on our standard leader, but gets extremely good when we get into our Z Awaken. Before that, the secret rare for the deck, grade 8 Mars Saiyan. If you remove this card from a combo, remove it from the game. When it's used in a combo, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. Real sneaky, just to be able to pop anything. And then we've got the activate main for 5 energy. Play the card from our hand against dual attack and triple strike. Now, moving into the Z deck, I will start with the Z Awaken. So it's 3 Z Energy, SS3 Gotenks Warrior's Growth. We Z Awaken for 1 green energy if our life is 5 or less, over the mono green Gotenks. When you activate a Union skill, play 1 Ghost token with 15,000 power in rest mode. Again, some synergy with those Ghost tokens. We've got the activate main, limit 1, draw 1 card and switch this card to active mode. And then an activate battle, limit 1, remove 1 Goten and 1 Trunks youth card in your Z energy from the game. This card gets 15,000 power and double strike for the battle. At the end of the battle, remove this card from the game. You can run multiple to continue to awaken, and to be honest, you probably would, because this card is extremely good. We're able to swing 15k, draw a card, restand, and then swing 30k double strike. And when you start using that in combination with things like the Toa, you can swing 20k and then 35k double strike. For 1 energy, really good to be able to get that dual attack onto our leader. Frieza Resurrected Ambition, 2 specified green, 1 Z energy, deflect, double strike, 15k. When it's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less and KO it. And then once per turn, place one of your Z energy in the owner's drop. When one of your other green battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or more attacks, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. Again, a lot of our battle cards are 3 costs, 6 costs, and things like that. So it's good to be able to put more pressure on our opponent's hand. Piccolo Master's Teaching, a 1-drop with 2 Z energy, 10k, auto limit 1. If your leader is green and has Gotenks in its character name and you discard 2 cards from your hand, when this card is played, play up to 1 Gotenks Fusion Confusion from your deck and then shuffle your deck. Auto once per turn, switch this card to rest mode. When you attack with a Gotenks with an energy cost of 5 or more, choose up to 1 card in your opponent's battle area and use it in a combo in your combo area. A great way to be able to remove some big kind of battle cards and things like that. And also a great way to get that Gotenks out onto the field if we don't see it in hand. And we can then send it to the drop area. And if we've already got Trunks and Goten in the drop, since we're not going to be using it for the Union Fusion, so we won't have them. But if we do have it later on in the game, we can, if we need to pick up those pieces, we can do it with the Piccolo. And then we've got the SSB Vegeta, the standard generic 1-drop, 1Z energy. Place 1 card from your hand in the bottom of the deck. When this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand and draw 1 card. The permanent does need the Son Goku Z leader, but a great Self-Awakener if we need it. That is the deck. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think some of the older cards perhaps don't have a place in the deck anymore, is Goku no longer needed now that we have the Gogeta Unison? Do you perhaps run more copies of the Gogeta over the Vegito these days? But let me know what you think, if there's anything else you'd rather add into the deck or prefer to see. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you at the next deck idea.